Today, the question of political responsibility was posed. We are unanimous. When the whole system has failed, everyone needs to accept responsibility. This has led us to the decision to hand the resignation of the whole cabinet to the king. After this press conference, I will return to the palace to provide further details to the king.
And earlier I spoke to journalist Stefan de Vries in Amsterdam.
It's quite a complicated scandal. Actually, the tax authorities here, they accused thousands and thousands of families of frauding with child benefits. Now, they were attacking these families. They had to pay back what they received. These families were not able to defend themselves, even though the tax services knew that they were incorrectly accusing them of fraud. The government also was aware of the scandal, and yet the system continued. People lost their houses, divorced, were settled with a huge amount of debt. So this is an enormous scandal that has been shocking the country for quite a while. And just before Christmas, there was a parliamentary inquiry, and this report concluded that the government of Mark Rutte willingly violated the rule of law, the basic principles of the rule of law. And now, of course, this is a very serious accusation. Mark Rutte, the prime minister, he didn't want to resign. He said that the country does not need an unstable government. But yesterday, the leader of the Labour Party, he was a minister of social affairs and also responsible for the scandal in a previous cabinet. He resigned, and that put the pressure on the prime minister. So Mark Rutte today had no other option than to hand in his resignation to the king.
Is this the end of Mark Rutte's political career?
No, that's actually quite astonishing. In 2 months from now, there are general elections. These elections are already planned. So resigning today is more or less symbolic. He says, I'm taking responsibility. The whole political class has failed, so we have to resign, all of us. But the strange thing is, the peculiar thing is that Mark Rutte is leading in the polls. He will become even bigger than he is now in Parliament. So it is very likely that after the elections, the general elections on March 15th, Mark Rutte, the resigning prime minister of today, will be a new prime minister, and then he will lead probably his fourth government. He is already 11 years as a prime minister now. He will continue the next 2 months as a caretaker, but that means that he can tackle the coronavirus pandemic, but nothing new can be organized by the government. But strangely enough, this scandal will probably not really hurt him in the upcoming elections in March.